Welcome back, everybody, here to top table action at the Asian Poker Tour in Manila. Chip count. David Starb there, still holding a significant lead.
Don Carmona hanging on there with 24,000.
10,000 behind.
And he with the big blind. He's not going to like this. Wow, big blind and a super short stack.
Gino, I think whatever cards he gets this time, I think his next call is going to be all in, isn't it?
It has to be at this point. I mean, otherwise he's going to get blinded out, and that's the worst way to go out of this.
David folds. Kwang Soo Lee.
Unusually quiet, David Saab. Suited king, an 8.
Not a bad hand for a final table.
And he
knows that the big blind is short stack, so he just calls. Nice hand here.
Another good hand.
Satoru calls. Now to the big blind.
Is he going to raise? Oh, he just calls.
Thoughtful
Don
player.
is moving all in for another 10,000. He's all in for 22,000.
He has to do it. He only... That was the only choice that he had.
You've just got to wonder what cards he's thrown away in the first few hands.
One player all in.
Well, Queen 8.
Here comes a flop.
He's not going to like seeing the...
He's going to need something special here.
Flop is 996. 2 diamonds. Check, check. Turn card is a king of clubs. Check, check. And a check.
Ishii and Lee are just going to check this and bust Carmona out.
I think Mr. Carmona is leaving here, and I suspect that the others will be splitting the pot.
Check.
He hit the queen, but...
To show both cards. He has a queen, pair of queens.
Ishii
pair
and
of kings
Lee
over here.
with
Kings
the
with a
kings.
jack. Queen, jack will win the pot for Satoru Ishii. And Don Carmona's been eliminated.
So these two, it looked like they
round of applause for Don Carmona. We have a split pot here.
To the river. Well, they easily could have raised when they saw the turn with the king.
Kings and nines.
There we go. No more Filipinos in the final table. Gonzaga out. Now Carmona.
Gino, Don Carmona, last Filipino standing, now on his way back to the dressing room.
That's right. Well, with 64,000 in chips entering the final table, there was not much he can do, especially with the cards that he was catching.
He never looked comfortable.
He never looked comfortable. He was basically hanging on for dear life, and that's all she wrote for Don Carmona.
Bringing poker to Asia. Could you bring out the water, please?
Bring out the water. It's getting tense out there in the final table.
You don't often hear bring out the water in the Philippines. It's more bring out the San Miguel.
David Saab under the gun. Pocket sixes. Nice hand. Raises to 30,000.
Good raise from David.
Very good raise. That should scare away some of the players.
Jinyun.
It's nice to see David getting involved in a bit of the action.
Jinyun folds now to Michele.
Michele, big blind. Connectors.
Well, he's got the big blind there.
30K to call. Big blind.
Yes, he considers it worth it.
Protecting the big blind.
Got a heads-up pot here. And that flop is?
Slight favorite here for Saab.
Not now.
Not anymore.
10, 9, 7, 2
Ferrari sees the 7, but then there's a possible straight draw as well. So
2, 8, and 16 next hand.
Expect some action from David Saab.
And a check.
Oh, he checks. Surprise, surprise.
Turn card is a king of diamonds.
No.
King,
what's David going to do with the king
7
there?
on the board. Michele's first.
He was under the gun and he raised, so he could represent a high card. And that's exactly what he's going to do here. He's reaching for chips, representing the king. Is Ferrari going to bite?
Check and David, that's 25,000.
Easy call there.
Calls.
Easy call there from Ferrari.
King 10,
Doesn't
9,
believe him.
7 on the board, and here comes the river card. It is
wow.
7.
Michele will like that. Of course, one of the more experienced pros out there with David, so you can expect them to play a pretty cautious game.
He checks
and Saab knows it.
He shows his hand first. He shows a 7 for 3 sevens. That's going to win the pot.
Doesn't want to show the sixes. He doesn't want to show that he did not hit that king.
This is now the big blind. Jinyun's first to act.
Chris the big blind here. Blinds now at 8 and 16. None of the players are going to struggle with those blind levels at the moment.
Well, the short stack's already gone, so The next man to go might be Jin Man with the shortest stack among those people in the table. Pocket sixes. We've seen a lot of pocket sixes so far in this final table. Considerable raise there. 66,000 for pocket sixes. Maybe that gives away something. Ferrari doesn't like it.
Folds.
Saab, nice position. Pocket sevens. Re-raise or a call. He's thinking that right now.
He hasn't come up against Jin Man that much so far on the final table. He's going to need to gauge his opponent here, I think.
Not yet. So, but
calls
he's got a massive chip lead, and he just calls. He's willing to see the flop.
Yes, he's in an enviable position with that chip lead. He calls the shots.
Su folds. Toro folds. We have a heads-up pot here. Oh, excuse me, one more play.
The other's just not interested. Heads up between Saab and Jin Man.
And we'll go to the flop. 66,000 apiece from these two players.
Under the gun, Jin Man, pocket sixes, raises to 66,000, gets a call from David Saab with pocket sevens.
It is a queen, queen, deuce, 2 diamonds.
Nobody hits anything. Queen, queen, 2.
No, that's no help to either player there.
Jin is all in.
And Jin Man goes all in, and
what do you think of that call then, Gino?
Well, he's definitely trying to buy the pot, but if you're David Saab...
It was a little quick.
Yeah, it was a little quick, and you see the 2 queens there. I'm not thinking that Jin Man hit a queen. I don't think he hit a set. I'm thinking maybe he has pockets, he's trying to buy the pot, maybe he has an ace-king. Does he really believe that his pocket sevens are good enough to win this pot? But he has the chips to gamble, though. He has the chips to try and knock him out. He's got the chips to gamble. My impression, I don't think he's going to Jin Man on this one. But that's an easy call.
Yep.
David Saab has called here. He's got sixes and queens, 2 pairs. Jin Yun. David Saab has 2 sevens. Sevens versus sixes. David Saab has the sevens. He's up against the sixes.
Heavy favorite there for Australian.
Yeah, I think the call there was just too quick. I think that's what convinced David there.
Turn card. It's a 3. It's a 3 of diamonds. Jin Yun does have the 6 of diamonds. He's got a diamond flush draw.
Possible flush draw.
He has some outs here, so 23% chance.
1 card left.
So he could get sucked out here, David Saab could.
Queen's full of sevens.
He doesn't.
David Saab has eliminated another player.
Sevens hold up. Full house, queens and sevens. And we say goodbye to another player.
Very nice call there from David Saab. Not surprised at all with that call.
Taken down.
Just didn't seem like he knew. He didn't think that he had the trips.
45,000. Now they're up to 55,000.
No experience counting there once again, I think.
And you see all the love that's going on here in the APT. Everybody hugging each other before they leave.
Mind you, hugging may be the only way they have of communicating.
They don't understand each other in that final table.
Chris Rowe all by his lonesome down on that end of the table. Pocket sixes again.
Once again, pocket sixes here in the final table. Kwang Soo Lee, expect him to make some sort of raise here.
Got 4 seats in that first Super Satellite today. We already got 4 qualifiers from Macau.
There we are. There's Matt Savage in the background there, and just qualifying what Christopher Parker, the Asian Poker Tour's chief executive, said earlier on. Macau will be the next event at the end of August, with an increased prize pool of $1.5 million.
Wow, hope to see you there, buddy.
I will be there.
Pocket sixes, and well, that's a king jack for Ferrari. This is
a good hand for Ferrari.
Very good hand for Ferrari, especially with a few players left. 41,000 to call. He could just flat out call here, and he does. Oh, he raises.
Excuse me. Kelly's calling.
Oh, Matt Savage, they're throwing me off a little bit.
55,000 apiece between him and Kwang Soo Lee.
He called, and we're going to see a flop.
Flop is ace, king, 7, 2 spades.
Ferrari hits mid-pair.
He's paired his kings. Percentages swing very definitely in his favor here.
Absolutely, and Kwang Soo Lee reaching for chips. Is he going to have a test bet here to see it? Oh, no, he just checks.
Checks. Here comes the turn.
A 9. If I were one of these guys, I definitely would put a test bet out there, throw in the minimum amount to see if the other person will bite.
Looks like Ferrari may do just that.
No, he checks.
He folds.
Well, the ace can scare you. If you have mid-pair, the ace can definitely scare you.
I'll go with Lee to check this out. There it is.
And a check. Here comes the last card. It's an 8. Board reads Ace King at
First person to bet's going to win this hand.
Absolutely. I will be surprised if it's not Ferrari.
I would. Oh, he checks again. And Kwang Soo Lee, of course, with a check.
He shows a king.
Pocket sixes. They're good enough. And Kwang Soo Lee shows the sixes.
Sixes over for Kwang Soo, and McKelly will win this pot.